In this sequence, we will be focusing on the fourth chakra, the Anahata Chakra, which is located in the heart center. Starting in lotus pose, we're going to bring our right ankle to the crease of your left hip and cross your left ankle over the top of your right shin. Slowly settling into the pose, we're going to add some shoulder rolls, some neck rolls, whatever feels comfortable, as we intentionally start to deepen our inhales and exhales. Anahata Chakra is associated with the non-emotional heart, and we can connect to this through stillness. It is beyond the space of thought and requires detaching from the conventional idea of quote-unquote knowing. From here, we're going to bring our hands to our knees. I'll turn to the side to show you, and slowly just do cat-cows, rounding your spine, bringing your chin to your chest, and then inhale, gazing up towards the sky and arching your back. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Focusing on the breath and adding whatever movement feels good to your body. Now gently uncrossing your legs, coming onto your knees, we're going to add a little flow here. So starting in child's pose, we're going to bring our sit bones back to our heels and then round your spine, coming into cat, and just dipping your hips, coming into cobra with straight arms. And just repeating that a few times. Inhale, child's pose. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cobra. Remember, adding any movement that your body needs or your heart is asking for right now. Just listen. From our last cobra pose, we're going to gaze up towards the sky, inhale, and then push back into tabletop, bringing your left arm towards the sky, rolling out your wrist and threading it behind the right, hovering it a few centimeters off the ground, and then bringing it back up towards the sky, threading it through, bringing it back up towards the sky, cactusing your arm, stretching into that shoulder, and then exhale, threading it through, coming onto that left shoulder and left cheek. Inhale your right arm up, adding a bind behind your back if that feels comfortable. Just breathing here, maybe closing your eyes. And gently unwinding, bringing your right hand back towards the mat. And just repeating the same thing on the other side. Right hand up towards the sky, roll out your wrist, thread it through without coming onto the mat. Inhale, hand up towards the sky. Exhale, thread it through. Inhale, cactus your right arm, stretching into that right shoulder. Exhale, thread it all the way through, coming onto your right shoulder and right cheek. And whatever you did with the right arm, please do it with the left arm. We are all about balance over here. And again, just focusing on that breath. When you're ready, we're going to make our way to puppy dog pose. So arms out forward, Hips are lifted, chest dips, maybe tenting onto the fingertips if that feels comfortable for you. It adds a deeper shoulder stretch. I know for me, it is killer. Now making your way onto your stomach, go ahead and tee out your arms, bend your left knee, and bring your foot to that right side of your mat. A nice supine twist and shoulder stretch at the same time. Gotta love it. Staying here, or maybe if you want to go deeper, bring your left arm back into a bind. Slowly coming back onto your stomach and just repeating the same thing on the other side. So tee out your arms, bend your right knee, and bring your right foot to the left side of your mat. And gotta remember to balance it out, so if you added a bind on the other side, please add one with your right arm too. And gently releasing the pose, coming back onto your stomach, pushing up into tabletop, tucking your toes, and bringing your hips up into down dog. Walking out your dog, bending one knee at a time. Really pushing into your hands. And from here, we're going to roll into upward dog. So tuck your chin to your chest, round your spine. Inhale, dip your hips and gaze up towards the sky. Exhale, tuck your chin, push back into down dog. Again, inhale, roll into upward dog. Exhale, tuck your chin, push back into down dog. One more time, upward dog. Exhale, push back into down dog. Slowly start to walk your feet up towards your hands. Once you reach the top of your mat, go ahead and cross your arms, bend your knees if you need, and come into ragdoll pose. Sway your hips from side to side, maybe straighten your legs if that feels comfortable. And just letting your head hang heavy as if it's a coconut hanging from a coconut tree. Letting it be the last thing to rise up once you come into standing pose. Inhale, arms come above head. Now grab your left wrist with your right hand and cross your left leg over the right. Really stretching into that left side body. Focusing on the breath. And repeating the same thing on the opposite side. So left hand grabs right wrist and right leg crosses over the left. Now cactusing your arms, adding a back bend. You want to think up and back with your chest, bringing your gaze up towards the sky. And then exhale, fold forward, bringing the hands to the mat. And with control, lift your right leg up into an L shape, keeping the spine straight. And if it's possible, lifting your hands up off of the mat. And maybe if you want to go even deeper, interlacing your fingers behind you and just pushing your knuckles back towards your back heel. With control, we're going to step our right foot down and parallel our feet, coming into wide forward fold. Keeping your hands interlaced, letting your arms and head hang heavy. Maybe bending into each knee, if that feels comfortable for you. Now inhale, bring your hands to the mat. Point your toes out slightly, bend your knees, and slowly roll up into goddess pose. Keeping your hands on your thighs, we're just going to dip our right shoulder, keeping your right arm straight, bending your left arm, coming back up and repeating it on the opposite side. Inhale, come up. Exhale, dip your right shoulder. Inhale, come up. Exhale, dip your left shoulder. Coming into triangle, we're going to parallel our back foot with the back of our mat and point your front toes towards the top of your mat, straightening our legs and bringing your left arm to meet the mat on the inside of your left foot and bring your right arm up towards the sky. Now from here, we're going to go into half moon, so grab a block if you need it. Place it in front of your left toes, keeping your hips open to the side of the mat and bringing your right leg and arm up towards the sky. And if you want to mess with the balance here, try bringing your hand off of the block. If you fall out of it, that's totally okay. Circling your right hand over and down, tucking your right toes and dropping your right knee, coming into low lunge. Inhale, bring your hands up towards the sky, adding a back bend here if it feels comfortable. Exhale, hands come to the mat, folding over that front leg while you straighten it, coming into halfway split. Inhale, bending into that front leg. And we're going to slowly bring our right heel towards our right glute. Keeping your foot flexed, grabbing the outside of your right ankle with your right hand, or maybe if you want to go deeper, grab each side of the ankle with both hands. Inhale here. Gently releasing that back foot, coming into half split. Straightening that front leg and bringing your hands to the outside of it. Really being mindful that your hips are staying straight and not leaning too much to the right. Now inhale, we're going to come into modified side plank pose. So right knee and right hand are on the mat. And we're going to bring our left hand towards the sky and back to grab your left ankle, really expanding through the chest. Letting that arch in your back form from pulling your heel away from your glute. Breathe here. When you're ready, gently release your ankle and slowly start to round the spine, bringing your knee to your nose. Lift your back knee up off the mat and then go down into three-legged dog, bringing your left heel towards the sky. Start to bend into that left knee and bring it to the ground behind you, coming into wild thing, bringing your left arm up and overhead, really pushing into your feet and right hand. And then setting up for side plank, so strong in the right foot and arm. And with all the control you have, bring your peace fingers and wrap them around your left big toe. You can either keep your knee bent or straighten your leg if that feels comfortable. And with control, we're going to step our left foot towards the top of our mat, coming into low lunge just as a transition, and then making our way into forward fold. Now it's time to even out both sides, so lift that left leg up into an L shape. Tent onto the fingertips, or if it's possible, lift your fingertips off of the mat. And if you want an extra challenge, bring your hands behind you, interlace your fingers, and really push back towards your back heel. With control, step your left foot back onto the mat, parallel your feet, add a back bend if it feels comfortable, and then with your hips start to hinge forward, letting your hands and arms hang heavy over your head. Breathe here. With control, release your arms, bring them to the mat, and come up into a halfway lift, pointing out your toes slightly, bending into your knees, and rolling up into goddess pose. Really sinking into the hips, intentionally pushing your knees out. Don't let them cave in. Breathe here. Slowly start to rise up, straighten into that right front foot, parallel the back foot with the back of your mat, coming into triangle pose. Bring your right hand on the inside of your right foot, either with or without a block, and line up your arms. Now bending into that front knee, spring up onto that front foot, coming into half moon. You could use a block here if need be, or if you want to challenge yourself a little bit, slowly start to raise that hand off of the block. Now with control here, we're going to drop that left leg, coming into low lunge, dropping the knee. Inhale, puff your chest forward. Engage your core and raise your arms up towards the sky, adding a back bend if that feels comfortable. Exhale, hands come back to frame the front foot and straighten into that front leg, coming into half split. Inhale, bending into that front leg again, tucking your back toes, bringing your gaze up towards the sky. Now with control, we're going to bring our left heel towards our left glute, grabbing the outside of your left ankle with your left hand. And if you would like to go deeper, maybe grabbing it with your right hand also. Expanding your chest and gazing up towards the sky. Breathing here. With control, gently release that back foot while bringing your hands back down to the mat, straightening into that front leg, and then placing your hands to the outside of your right thigh. Walking your hands back to the front of the mat, we're going to set up for modified plank pose. So coming on to just your left knee and left hand, bringing your right foot out, and then bending your right knee and grabbing your ankle with your right hand. Really focusing on pushing the foot away from the glute so you can get that nice arch in your back and expansion in the chest. With control, gently release the foot, bring your right hand down to the mat, and slowly bring your knee up to your nose and push back into three-legged dog, right leg up in the air. Setting up for Wild Thing, drop the ball of your right foot on the ground, stretching your right arm out in front of you. Making your way into side plank, come on the outer edge of your left leg and hand, grabbing your right big toes with your right peace fingers and straightening into that leg if it's possible. It's okay if you need to bend your knees, I know I do. With control, we're going to make our way back into low lunge, bringing our right foot towards the top of the mat and then springing up into forward fold. Breathing here. Bending into our knees, we're going to slowly make our way into seated position. Legs are long out in front of you. I like to grab the flesh from my sit bones and just kind of move it to the side so I feel more rooted. Inhale, bring your arms up towards the sky. Exhale, lead with your chest, folding all the way forward, either grabbing the calves, the feet, or you can even put a block if you're a little more flexible in front of the feet and wrap your hands around the block. Breathing into your back body. Slowly start to make your way up and bring your right foot to the outside of your left thigh and bring your left elbow to the outside of your right knee. Inhale, bringing space into your body, and exhale, twisting, looking over that right shoulder. Inhale, bring in some space. Exhale, twist. Now releasing, bringing that foot back out in front of you and doing the same thing on the other side. Gently release the pose, make your way onto your back, and we are going to set up for wheel. So we want our heels right below our knees and our hands by our ears with our fingertips pointing towards our shoulders. We're going to push into our hands and feet, bringing up your hips first, and you can either stay here or, if it's possible, bringing your head up off of the mat as well. really focusing on pushing into your hands and feet and bringing your hips up towards the sky. When you're ready, start to tuck your chin into your chest, coming down onto your shoulders first, and then following with the hips. Once you're there, let your knees fall in towards each other to take some stress off of that lower back. Maybe closing your eyes and breathing here. When you're ready, straighten that left leg out in front of you. Bend your right knee and twist it over the left leg, teeing out your arms and looking over your right shoulder. And doing the same thing on the opposite side. So bringing your left leg over to the right and looking over your left shoulder. Gently releasing the pose and slowly making our way into Shavasana, my favorite. Bring your legs straight out in front of you, your hands to your side. Take up all the space on your mat. When you're ready, bring your hands overhead like you're doing a big good morning stretch. Maybe even adding a yawn if that feels good. We're going to make our way back into seated position, so any way you would like to get there, maybe keeping your eyes closed while you do so. Bringing your hands to your knees, you can place your palms up for receiving or place them down for grounding. Just breathing here. Bring your palms together and start rubbing them against each other until you feel heat forming in between them. And once you feel the heat in between your hands, go ahead and bring them a few inches apart. Imagine a big ball of energy that you're holding. Give the ball a color. Give it a feeling. A good feeling, perhaps. Start to bring the ball up and place it into your heart. Imagine all that good energy flowing through you. Bring your palms together and your thumb to your third eye. May love and light guide your thoughts. Now bring your thumbs to your mouth. May love and light guide your words. Now bring your thumbs to your heart. May love and light guide your actions. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. A quote I would like to end today's class with: even if I knew that tomorrow the world would go to pieces, I would still plant my apple tree. Martin Luther King. Namaste, yogis.